All right, this is going to be my UFL Championship preview, so let's get started here. So obviously our UFL Championship is between the Birmingham Stallions and the San Antonio Brahmas. So first let's talk about the Stallions and Panthers game. The Panthers in this game, they lost 31-18 versus the Stallions. There was 4 turnovers and 4 takeaways from both teams in this game. Danny Etling for the Panthers had 182 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, and 1 fumble. So 4 turnovers from his quarterback there. Obviously, a big reason why Michigan lost this game. Um, Nate McCrary was solid with 62 yards. Theosi Mariner had 60 yards and a touchdown. But yeah, ultimately, you know, 4 turnovers is not going to be a good way to win the game. But obviously, they also had 4 takeaways. But their offense couldn't do enough to counteract, their 4 offensive turnovers. But yeah, for the Birmingham Stallions in this game, a 31-18 dub is really good. 4 turnovers to 4 takeaways. Obviously, really good defensively, not really good for your offense. Adrian Martinez in this game was not very good. 164 yards, only 8 rushing yards, which is averaged like, almost 50 rushing yards a game. He had 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and 2 lost fumbles, so 3 turnovers in this game for him. Matt Corral ended up coming into this game because Adrian Martinez was playing so poorly. And Corral was really good for 9. He was 9 for 11. He had 2 touchdowns. He had 1 interception. So really good performance from Matt Corral in his limited time that he came in and played. CJ Marable was really good as well, 82 yards. Jordan Thomas, 62 yards and a touchdown. A lot of good players offensively for the Birmingham Stallions. But let's talk about the game itself. So in the first quarter, it was 12-0 Michigan Panthers. So the Stallions are down 12 points at the end of the first quarter, which is something they have not really, been used to. They haven't been used to being down, hardly at all season long. Definitely not down, 2 scores. But yeah, they ended up being down as much as um, I think 15-0 before they actually ended up scoring. But then they ended up making it 18-12 at halftime, so kind of more respectable there. But to start out the second half, they let up another. They threw another interception, then lost a fumble. So not the best start to the second half, and that is when Matt Corral ended up taking over finally in his first possession. He threw an interception, but they ended up scoring another touchdown. They got a pick six in that third quarter to end up making it 18-18. And then in that fourth quarter, they ended up scoring 13 straight points. But yeah, in this game, they were down 18 to what was it? 18-3. They were down 18-3 in the second quarter of this game. They ended up scoring 28 straight points, ended up winning this game. So obviously, pretty big collapse from Michigan's side of the ball, but really good showing for Birmingham to overcome that early deficit in doing it with their backup quarterback Matt Corral in the game for the majority of that time because AJ Martinez was playing so poorly. But they did say AJ Martinez, even though he was played bad in the USFL Conference Championship game, he said he will start AJ Martinez in the UFL Championship game, which makes sense. He's the UFL MVP. He just happened to have a bad week. He had a bad Week 10 game as well, but I think he'll bounce back and have a better UFL Championship game, though. But yeah, going to the Brahmas and Battlehawks game. So let's talk about the Battlehawks first. They lost 25-15. They got outgained 239 yards to 410 yards, so not a good showing there for the Battlehawks at all. AJ McCarron had 179 yards and a touchdown. Not bad. He was also, visibly injured in this game, so that has a little bit to do with it. But even if he was fully healthy, it doesn't look like they would have been able to win this game. But it certainly probably would have been closer than a 10-point game. But Jacob Sailors had 91 yards. He was really good. Hakeem Butler had 6 receptions for 59 yards. He was really good as well. But ultimately, only scoring 15 points for your offense is not going to be doing you a whole lot of good. For the Brahmas, they won 25-15, outgained them by 170 yards, had 213 rushing yards. Amazing run game here for San Antonio. Coming into the game, we didn't even know if John Lovett, Anthony McFarland, or Chase Garbers was going to be able to play, but all 3 of them ended up playing. Chase Garbers was really good, 15-21, 197 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 fumble, 1 interception. So 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions is, still a pretty solid performance from him. Anthony McFarland was amazing, though, 119 yards and a touchdown. John Lovett, 83 yards. Justin Smith, 76 yards and a touchdown. Kirkland, 60 yards. And Marquez Stevenson, over 60 yards and a touchdown as well. So a lot of good performances from the Brahmas offensive side of the ball. Now looking at this, the game here, the Brahmas ended up being up 7-0 at the end of the first quarter. Had a 63-yard touchdown to start the second quarter, and went into halftime with a 13-3 lead. Doing really good, and then they come out of halftime with a 69-yard touchdown by Anthony McFarland to take a 19-3 lead. So after that, it looks really, really good here for for San Antonio, being up 19-3, but then they let up a touchdown to make it 19-9. And then the very next possession on offense, there's a scoop and score touchdown. So it's now only 19-15. So just like that, it's only a 4-point game when it was just a 16-point game. And then they end up scoring a field goal to make it 22-15 at the end of that third quarter. Scored another field goal here in the fourth quarter after the Battlehawks end up missing one. And then, they just hold the Battlehawks at the end of the game. So really good performance here for San Antonio. St. Louis definitely underperformed, but San Antonio definitely earned what they got. So in this game against the Stallions and Brahmas, I think it's going to be a very, very close game, a very, very fun game. Personally, it should be. I think it'll be higher scoring than their I believe it was week 9 game. It was like 18-9. I think it'll be higher than that. I believe both teams will probably get up to 20-plus points in this game. It should be a very fun game to watch, and I do think the Brahmas will pull it out again, but probably by less than 9 points, probably like 3 or 6 points or something. I do think it will still come down to the final possession, though, again. Looking at the attendance here in the playoffs, Stallions game had a little over 10,000, while the Battlehawks got a little over 30,000 for about a 20,000 average. I thought the Battlehawks might get a little bit more because they've been getting over 30,000 every week in the regular season. I thought they would get a little bit more in their playoff game, but still not a bad outing at all. Birmingham, you would like to see them probably above 12-14, but 10,000 plus is still a good benchmark for them. Looking at the viewership, it was good to see this viewership so high. Stallions game of 1.1 million, Battlehawks was 1.27 million. So these are still not the highest rated games of the season. I believe week 1 had 2 games that were higher than these, but other than that, these are basically the most viewed games out of any game so far this season, which obviously makes a lot of sense. And I would expect the championship game this week to have 1.5 to maybe even 2 million plus viewers. So that's going to be it for the video. Thank you for watching. I will be having a whole lot of UFL videos coming out, in the next week or so, with some player rankings, some, things I think should happen for the next season, and something about players who I think will be going to the NFL after this season. I also have a bunch of NBA videos coming out next week, so make sure to watch those as well.